Hello everyone, welcome to PRF1 Round 3 Monaco. We're here for the usual full qualifying 50% race. A couple of guys short on the grid so far. We're hoping they're going to join. The message has gone out to them. So hopefully they'll get in time for qualifying. So I'm just opening up the stream. I'm running a little bit behind of what I usually am, so just bear with me a little bit. Right, here we go. Got it open now. I can share it. Round. As you can see, 15 at the moment, but say we're a good couple short, so of what's supposed to be tonight. So hopefully they'll be joining during quali. Just get these couple of shares out of the way. I'll be with you properly. There we go. That's that. Just do a tag as well. Right. Looks like, let me just get the track map up. And details to enable the data and the telemetry. Looks like these guys coming out are first. I think the McLaren is actually first, so that's Dark Lord. I've just seen a message come up saying that rain at Monaco. As if things couldn't get any worse than the fact that we're at Monaco. We've got rain as well, apparently. Obviously not out yet, but I'm assuming that's talking about a race. Going to be wet. Okay. There we go. Right, tag done as well. Superb. Excellent. Right, that's that stuff done. I can get back to what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm watching the racing. Good evening, Mark. It should be a good one, especially I've just read that it's going to be wet. It's not wet yet, so I assume that they are talking about race. Dark Lord's first on a lap then, so we'll see. Let's see if you can get a valid time on the board first time round. It's pretty good so far, I have to admit. Very close to the walls without touching so far. So he chicane. Tough corner, but seems to take that very well as well, I have to say. It's a superb lap so far from Dark Lord. Into the tunnel. Chicane, very easy to invalidate round there. It's also very easy on that chicane to turn in a little bit too early and just catch funny enough, your left rear wheel on the inside of the corner. It's an absolute nightmare. So I have to say, for a first attempt, this is a very good lap from Dark Lord. Fair play to him. He comes across the line. It's 1:13.4, but he was really pushing that. I'm impressed with that. Noodle then also heading for the line, and it's a 1:14.8. Rara's across the line as well, 1:14.1. This is an Alpine into the pits. Okay, there's a Ferrari. Is that Greza? Oh, it's the other Ferrari, so it must be Gumba. Cross 1:16.7. Let's go to Greza because he's on a lap as well. A bit further back. So Demon crossed the line, but it was a 24.6, so clearly not a clear lap there. Spreader, as always, heads to the front with a 1:11.9 on his first attempt at some lap. Greza heading for the line then. Can he beat Spreader? It's close. It's a 1:12.1. Massey beat Spreader though. 1:11.7. Wow. So, I was trying to get to Gazelle there, but he's jumped up to 5th on a 1:13.9. Pajala's on night lap. So, let's just go to Demon, because I suspect Demon is probably doing another lap. So let's give it a go. I don't mean to sound sadistic or anything, but I do kind of hope that it is raining. He's lost an end plate there, just caught the wall, and he's lost the other end plate there. He's not invalidated though, so I think he's lost the whole wing actually now. He has indeed. He's going to complete the lap though. So heads to the line, and it's a 1:13.4, puts him up to P4. It's all going great to that last part of the final sector. Pajala has now crossed the line, so this is the other Mercedes. We've just seen the Mercedes of Demon lose the front wing in the final sector, but complete the lap to a 13.4. Pajala, the teammate then. Bit of traffic ahead with the Alfa Romeo. So it doesn't... looks like the Alfa Romeo's pretty well round. I think that there's only one Alfa Romeo, so it must be Big D. He is on an out lap, but I don't think he's close enough that he's going to be... Well, we've actually gone past him. I don't know when that happens, but I think we've gone past him in a way. Oh, and that wasn't ideal for Pajala. That was his teammate. All wrong on chicane. Again, I have to say, this lap from Pajala's looked very good. Apart from that chicane where he come across his teammate, I think that just almost made him jump a little bit, to be honest, to find his teammates out there. But it's a good lap. It's a 14.0 from Pajala, puts him into P6. Hoodrats, who was my teammate on Monday in Never League, driving for Williams. We came 7th and 10th around Jeddah. A wet Jeddah as well, actually, thinking about it. So we had a wet Jeddah on Monday in the league we're driving, and we've got a wet Monaco today at the sounds of things. Because wet Jeddah just wasn't enough. Good rat. In the Alpine today then. Heads into the final sector. 53.6 in sector 2, so it gives an idea. Across the line for that. Sort of time in sector 2 is in towards. See the debris still on the track. So it crosses the line to a 1:12.7 and goes P4. Okay, let's go to the Alfa Romeo then that we saw somehow get out of the way of Pajala on his lap. But just went invisible for a minute, cloaked. So I don't think that will cost him too much. It's a 1:12.4, that puts him P4 then. And these times are beginning to show that we could have a very, very close qualifying on our hands. As Greza goes quickest in the Ferrari, 1:11.3. Exactly 4 attempts ahead of Massey, so that's a very fine lap. Oh, that's Gazelle. Right next to the pits, happily enough. So that must be Gumba on his way out. Someone else. Who else could be? Rats? Nope. Nope. Greza would assume nope. He just doesn't need to now. I think he'll run for these more than enough to get him through. Dark Lord has retired. I believe in the pits. This is Matsy as well. I think they're both retired in the pits. I can't see any cars out. Just Alpine was very slow there. I think I was noodle net, just getting out of somebody's way ahead of him. Fatal Defiance, I think. Yeah, 3/4 of a second up in sector 1. Oh no, that was across the line, sorry, so we improved by 3/4 of a second. He's now 1/4 of a second up in sector 1. So he heads into the hairpin. There's plenty of energy still in that lap as well, so there we go. There is an element of doing extra laps at your own risk, I think, around a track like this. Gazelle and Greza have now retired in the pits as well. What they've done, Fatal Defiance. Round 8 attempts up in sector 2. So heading into the 113s for sure. The end of the sector looked good, so I think a mid 113 probably. Yeah, 113.7, so pretty close. P7 for Fatal Defiance. We've got Rupek, who, unless it's a name change, I think is a new one for me, so I think Rupek must be reserved. Half a second up as well, so oh, and he's crashed it, and that is the end of Rupek's qualifying, unfortunately. Sorry to say I've caught that one, Rupek, but unlucky. He was improving just like Fatal did in the other Aston Martin as well, so it's a shame. And it can be annoying because if nobody jumps in now to do any more laps, he would have just been in Q2 in a way and wouldn't have needed to do that lap. So, here's with Monaco, you can, as Noodle Neck improves by 6.5 attempts. He didn't change position, but it's a strong improvement. Bumba up in the first sector, 3.5 attempts. It's kind of the thing with Monaco. Other tracks like this, like Jeddah, quite often start from the back and or low down the order, and still do really well. Just keep yourself penalty free. Problem, of course, with Monaco is it's, well, almost impossible to overtake unless you get a seriously good run down the pit straight or the small straight that goes into the tight right-hander. The two hairpins. Pretty much the only places you can overtake, so. And even then, you're pretty much putting the race on the line, even if you try and overtake on either of those places. So, going ahead to the line now, and it's a very good improvement, just over, well, 1 second, 1.5 attempts to go 12. Improved up to 15 and 12 to specialty. A lot of drivers gradually improving throughout the sessions. Hidrat is back out. I'm going to assume this is because people need to get some practice in. I just think, well, we saw from Rupek, didn't we? It's a little bit dodgy to put the practice laps in when you don't really need to do them. There's Rara retires out. Oops. This track shouldn't be on the calendar. Well, I agree to that in real life, Mark, to be honest. I just think it's... And I didn't even bother watching it this year. It's just an absolute bore fest every single time. Because nobody can overtake, so it's just all about trying to get them moves done during pit stops, and that's it. So, just don't see much point. And all it would take tonight, let's be honest, all it would take is one person just to not quite be on the ball at the start of the race, overshoot their braking into turn 1, take 4 or 5 drivers out, and cause quite a big argument. I am a fan of Monaco being taken out of calendars, to be honest, but I suppose it is a good challenge. And so at the moment, we've just got Spreader and Noodle Neck both sat in the pits. 3 minutes to go. Feel free to retire, guys. If it's anything like TSD tonight, it would be insane. Well, let's hope it is, then. Assuming you mean insane in a good way, Big D. As they both retire then, and get us on the next session. Interestingly, I don't have a P13, which is a bit odd. Not sure how that's managed to happen, but as you can see, other than Demon and Rupek, unfortunately, who crashed out, Goomba, Noodle Neck, Rarab, Jala, Gazelle, Fatal Defiance, Dark Lord, Hoodrat, Big D, Spreader, Massey, and Greza all safely through. Just there's the instance, just in case the stewards need them. Don't think there was anything on there though. Oh really, Big D? Okay, well, it's making me look forward to this a bit more then. So one of the best races you've been a part of and watched back. Yeah, even the top sim guys don't like this track with these cars. Well, hopefully, like Big D saying about TSD, hopefully we can have a nice race. Here's the rain then. So, maybe they weren't talking about race then, perhaps it was just quality 2 and 3. If Big D could throw any light on that, are we expecting rain for the race or just for qualifying? Spreader, is that? Oh no, there's a Haas out on the track. It's usually Massey, he's never first out in Q1, but he always seems to be first out in Q2 and 3. So just to confirm for you, I'll just bring up the tyres quickly. You can probably see it on the car, but they are on intermediate tyres. Nobody attempting full wets, which to be fair, it doesn't look wet enough for that. So it could be interesting. It could give us a bit of a topsy-turvy grid to what we're used to. See, with the retirements in Q1, we'll only lose 2 drivers in this. So there really is everything to pay for. Every driver on track is capable of getting through here. So it really is a bit of a lottery as to which 2 that's going to be. Goomba was the slowest of the 12 in Q1, but that doesn't really mean anything now that it's raining, to be honest. I'm not sure anything in a way, even in dry. So Massey, certainly one of the fastest drivers we got. See what we can manage in the rain. I wonder if anybody actually did any wet practice for Monaco. Well, there has been a few wet Monacos over the years in real life, hasn't there? I think the most notable was Senna, wasn't it? It was just unreal. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Mark. You and me, well, no, we're not in the same league actually, are we? I'm Monday, you're Wednesday, but I was going to say if we do, you and me can have a little quali battle for last place and both start from the back. It's a massive through the tunnel. Always interesting that, isn't it? Obviously the tunnel bone dry. Yellow flag. Round about the tunnel entrance, and McLaren perhaps just slowed down to get out of the way, mate. No, might have spun round. but doesn't. Weren't moving off of Massey, who's going to be first to set a time. So we've got no idea whether this is going to be a good time or not. It's 23.5. As Spreader goes across on a 24.0. This was the McLaren that went slow, so let's not worry about that one. This is Greza going across on a 23.8. A few more now. Big D 24.1, Gazelle 24.5. Dark Lord does complete that lap on a 37.3. That's Spajala then heading for the line, and it's a 27.1. Gumba, where's Gumba? He's heading for the line as well. 26.0 and Hood Rat. Quite possible everybody's still on a hot lap. Might be doing multiple laps on the inters. I would expect they are actually. Looks like Hood Rat's not had a very nice. In fact, I think he might have lost an end plate actually. I just kind of caught out the corner of my eye. Massey almost half a second quicker, so he's now on a 23.0. But so is Spreader, who goes fastest by 0.07. Greza. No, not improving at all. Greza. Big D did. Oh, he was. He didn't improve actually over the line though. Rara. Yep, so let's just stick with Rara. He's not got time on the board yet. Oh, okay. So hard to turn in, isn't it? I don't know, in the earlier games, when I first sort of picked up the more modern games, I can't remember what year it was for the more modern ones, but I mean, I've been playing them since 96, but I took a sort of break in the early 2000s, but when I picked them up and I've restarted playing again, the that hairpin, I could not work out for the life of me why I could not even get round it without hitting a wall on the outside, and it'll, after finally working it out completely on accident, by the way, I found I wasn't even actually pulling the left analog stick on my pad all the way over to the left, which is why I kept hitting the wall. Once I realised that, I was able to do a lot better. Raratron goes P4 on a 24.0. Noodle Neck. Let's get a time on Fatal as well. I think Fatal's just coming around the two right-handers that lead up to the tunnel, so stick with Needle Neck and then switch to Fatal. Looks like it's going to be a respectable lap time for Noodle. 126.3 puts him in P8 at the moment. Fatal then. Graphic was showing purple on the second sector. I don't know if that's correct or not. Let's see. Heads into the final corner. It's a 26.7. That puts in P10 for the moment. Let's see then. Anybody else still going? Any of the top runners still? Massey, no. Spreader. It's just improved actually to a 22.7. Massey is well down, as is Greza. So I think they might be pitting now actually. Big D is on an improvement. It's a strong lap from Big D. It's a 22.9. It's in P2. Very nice lap from Big D. Jala looks like he's on a decent lap as well here. PB's a 26.4. It's going to be a good improvement. So 25.3, 1.1 seconds improves him up to P7. Fatal's improving by a lot as well. There's a McLaren heading for the line, I'm not sure which one. It was Dark Lord, but he was on night lap in a way. So Fatal will be next across the line. So anybody that may watch the stream, whether it's live or watch it back at a later point, that maybe it's interesting to see people play the game but maybe doesn't play themselves, I cannot begin to tell you how difficult this is. A wet Monaco is, I mean, a dry Monaco is ridiculous enough, but a wet Monaco is just, it's mind-blowing. Massey, by the way, has retired it in the pits, so I'm a little surprised he's done that. Lap times can suddenly start coming towards you, although I have to admit it does seem a bit wetter to me. But we saw Big D improve a lot. We saw Fatal Defiance improve a lot, or was improving a lot, but he backed out at the end of it. Jala into the pits. Fatal's way down. Dark Lord, 11.5 seconds up, so he's at the moment on target for a 25, but I suggest he's going to improve more in the final sector. Right, so 124.7 puts him into P7. That currently knocks Fatal Defiance down to P11. Hoodrat, for whichever reason, still deciding not to come out as of yet. No improvement from Master Spread at the moment. Lord, let's just see if he's continuing on. I think that is Noodle Neck in front of him. Probably the best place on the track you can possibly get out of the way, really. So, chose the right spot. Didn't quite catch Dark Lord's first sector, so I don't know if he is going again or whether he's just heading back to the pits, I'm not sure. Let's switch to Goomba. Goomba's definitely started a hot lap, so heads out down to the right hander and into the tunnel. So his car, I don't know if it's just me, but his car seems very, very juddery. It suggests to me that Goomba's playing on pad itself, but so I don't normally expect to see someone sort of juddering around like that on the steering. Catches the wall on the outside, but didn't look like it damaged the car at all. As he heads through the final corner then towards the line, and it's not an improvement there. Almost 4/10 off. Noodle Neck, the Alpine, currently sitting P10. So he doesn't know what's happening with the other drivers. As it stands right now, Fatal and Hoodrat are still in the pits. Now, I would suggest that Hoodrat's not coming out. I can't believe he's just leaving it till the last second to come out and do one lap on intermediate tyres. So I don't think Hoodrat's going to set a time here. So it will all be about Fatal Defiance, who is on and out lap now. Stick with Noodle Neck. Hey Brian, sorry man, I wasn't looking at me chat. Whoa, that's kind of moist. Yep, definitely. Yeah, sequel performance. Yeah, and a lot more. Yeah, spreader's quick. Brian, you're quick, so don't start doing the old. Oh, wow, is he that quick? Because you're quick yourself. I touched Monaco. did about 3 laps and got straight back off it again as Noodle Neck's into the wall. I don't think it's retired him. It's all going to be about then Fatal Defiance. So Ferrari coming right where Noodle Neck is. So that's Gumba, who's almost a 10th down on his run. But Fatal Defiance has started his run, so this is the one. I'm not that quick. You're quick, Brian. We all know about you. You're quick, you just crash a lot, that's all. If you could find some sort of happy medium. So Fatal, looks like he struggles to get that car round the hairpin. And here he comes into the tunnel. Really difficult. I'm just thinking ahead if he's going to be able to get another lap in. It's going to be really tight over the line. So he may need to get it done on this lap. Oh, but he's over the chicane, and that's invalidated him. He needs to absolutely bomb this round still. It's 20 seconds to go. Because to say about Fatal here, he's got 8 seconds. I don't think he's going to make it, unfortunately. No, Fatal realises that and peels into the pits instead. So, with Hoodrat, for whatever reason, not setting a time, he did come out on track. He didn't set a time. That means that Noodle Neck is safe. So, Noodle Neck, Gumba, Rapid Pajala, Dark Lord, Gazelle, Rara, Reza, Massey, Big D, and Master Spread are through to Q3. Nice to see Big D in there in P2, beating out the likes of Massey and Greza. You knew that was coming. I was bound to point out you're crashing. Don't tend to stop getting annoyed, Mark. It's funny when he starts shouting things in Dutch in the chat. Anyway, Pajala was the only person not either finished or in the pits, so that is definitely it. Good night, Dad. That's the end of Q2. Right, I'm just gonna take a moment, guys, grab myself a quick coffee before Q3. Just bear with me. Right, so he's back. And it looks like Massey's going to be first out again. So we'll head to him. He does shout. I'm sure it's profanities in Dutch, Mark. I'm sure he shouts that out. Yeah, I agree, Fatal. I think you'll find that if you survive, you'll get a top 10 finish. So, but yeah, I completely agree with you. I'm with Mad Mark. I don't know what I'd have done for qualifying because I wouldn't be fast enough to fight the likes of, you know, Spreader and Massey and Greza, and by the looks of it, Big D as well. And then there's that thing of, do you really want to be stuck in the middle of the pack somewhere on the Monaco start? So, yeah, I think I might have actually opted just to start from the back here, to be honest. And it looks like we transitioned to full wets. Is that just double check that? Looks like Gazelle is sitting in the pits on intermediates, but isn't venturing out to check track yet. Yeah, you did, Mark. You won Jeddah on Wednesday. Congratulations on that. Yeah. I know we're only 2 rounds in, but currently in a championship battle as well, Mark, aren't you? So, with, I forgot who it's with. Well, Massey a bit out of sorts there in the lead up to the hairpin. Might make him abort this lap and just save some energy instead. We'll see. We'll keep on him because he's still the first person round. The next driver after will be Big D in the Alpha. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did well as well, Fatal, didn't you? To be fair. Actually, Fatal, are you sure you got P5? Because I think didn't you get promoted to P4? Have you seen the race report? So I think Michael got demoted down to 5. That's right, great. Yeah. Yeah, I was right then. Massey had backed out. Right, Big D then is on his way to the line, so we should expect times a bit slower. Not a million miles slower though, is it? So 24.9. 23.4 from Master Spread. Wow, okay. Looks like new... Oh no, there's a McLaren of Dart Lord just in front of Noodle Neck. There is actually Tron. I was going to say there's a Red Bull round at the left-hander just before the end of sector 2. And it is a retirement as Dart Lord just caught the inside of the corner there. Who else did I say it was? Was it Noodle? Yeah, Noodle's heading for the line. He's coming across on a 27.3. So goes P3 for the moment. But there's a couple others switching. Massey switched to Inters. Pajala switched to Inters. It must be very, very close between the two. Greza is invalidated. Oh, it's Greza. He spun there for a second, but he hasn't. Big D improving. No, he's invalidated. Spreader. Looks like Spreader's pushing. Thing is, it's a difficult thing. There's a couple of guys actually out on track now on intermediate tyres. Spreader goes fastest on a 23.1. It's a difficult call because if it is wet tyre conditions, Ala's just started his lap on Inter, so let's see how he gets on. Should we ride on board? We haven't been on board with someone yet. Ah, yeah, Fatal, I thought it was. But, He's certainly being quite tentative, is Pajala, but it is his first attempt at a hot lap, so maybe just taking things a bit easy. Oh, word, it's hard to get that round there. Well, is this a sign that it's not ready? I mean, it doesn't look like it's raining that heavy, so more dry. Well, more than half the grid now has switched to intermediate tyres. It looks like the fault starter is drying up. Clearly, they're getting told that it's getting drier. So even if inters aren't faster right this second, they're going to want to be on inters come the end of the session. Could be one of those, like we see in real life, where it's the last person over the line that has the advantage. Jala heads for the line then. His first attempt on intermediates is a 26 flat. That's P3 at the moment. Next is invalidated. I think there's a Ferrari next, so that's Greza. He's on an outlap. So there's a McLaren, which must be Dark Lord, but he's on an outlap as well. Big D outlap, of course he is. Massey's not on an outlap. Let's go to Massey. I suspect that Massey's time will be the best indicator we've had so far of whether the inters are quicker now or not. If he goes quite quicker than spreaders so far, and that will tell us it's going to be close over the line. I don't think he's going to go quicker, but it's close. P2 23.3. So if this track is drying out, they're on the right tyres. McLaren next in the pits there. That was spreader. Let's go to Goombas. Getting himself way out of the way there. And so this is Greza then. Let's go back to the broadcast, guys. It's quite loud. Oh, thank you very much, Brian. I'm officially on television. Outstanding, thank you. Woo. Oh, I just waved. You can't see me though. I don't have a cam, unfortunately. Well, actually, I say unfortunately. It's very fortunate for you guys that I don't have a cam, so you can't see me. Currently, no, I won't tell you. But well, yeah, I will actually, because now if I don't tell you, it'd be weird. As Greza goes 21.4, the lap times are coming down significantly. So that is our best indicator yet, and it's it's not an indicator; it's outright proof. Big D goes into P2. Massey up to P3. This track is drying out, and it really could be one of those ones where the last guy over the line on his last lap gets the best track conditions. Dark Lord not improving in sector 1. He did have a little bit of a slide, so catches the wall there. I'd imagine that's hurt him a little bit as he gets out of the way. That's from Massey, who's invalidated in a way. Wow, lots of traffic. Lots and lots of traffic. Well, look at your maps before exiting the pits, guys, and you don't get the traffic. So maybe not expecting any improvements really from them. Well, it's hard to know. Everybody's driving a bit slow, so let's stick with Spreader. I think he's probably our most likely improvement. Comes round, yeah, he's 1.6 up at the moment, so he's heading to a mid 21, and you'd assume he'll pick up a bit more time in the final sector as well. So I think he's on for provisional pole, but that could all change again. Spreader heads for the line then, and it's a 1:21.002, won by 4 attempts to Greza at the moment. Greza actually will be next to cross the line. All the cars are in the first half of the track, so up in the pits. So I think you're looking at the clock. Yeah, Grosser will definitely go. I think a lot of these drivers will manage to get over the line again. What I'm really not sure on actually is Massey. I don't think he'll be able to get over the line for another lap. So that could cost him. It might be really tight though. He could prove me wrong yet, quite easily. So Greza, as you can see, he's got all his energy, 100% energy. He is saving that. That will get turned on right about now. There it starts going down. So it's the next lap. It's going to be the one that matters. I would suggest that we stay with Greza and watch this lap through. Keep an eye on the standings, see if anybody improves over the line. Spreader does. That's on your screen, 120.2. Oh, that is a huge improvement. Greza's 2 tenths up in the first sector. So, just looking, Dark Lord and Gumbo finished. So Massey did get across the line. He did make it in time. Looks to me like the rain's actually stopped now and this track is just going to keep drying up and drying up. As I said, Massey was last over the line as well. He could have advantage here. Although he was on a completely scrubbed new set of intermediates. Greza. It's going to be a big improvement. Across the line, it's a 120.298. That puts him, well, he's missed Spreader by 8 thousandths of a second. Oh, Massey's crashed. Massey's crashed it in the final sector, so he won't improve. Big D P3, Gazelle P4. I think that's it. Spreader is still out there, but he's not improving, so into the pits he comes. He's taken pole position by 8 thousandths of a second over Greza. Absolutely mightily close. At a wet Monaco, you could see how the times were coming down. They're not... I don't think, if we had another 10 minutes in the session, I think we might have seen slicks towards the end, but in a way, Massey unfortunately, yeah, crashed it. I don't know if his name's Scott or not. I don't know. The other guys in the chat might know better than me. I just know him as Sarge. Anyway, congratulations to Spreader. Takes the pole position. Greza P2, Big D3, Roadkill P4, Massive 5, Noodle Next 6, Goomba 7, Dark Lord P8. Did have a grid penalty, I believe, from Q2. Pajala was P9, and I think it was Raratron P10. And if Brian's right, and Sergeant Kamarov has joined, and there's the confirmation, then it is a wet race. Whew. This is going to be, well, scintillating, I'm sure, but it's going to be difficult. And look at the puddles there in the pits. This is, I think that's full wet conditions. I don't think that's intermediates. That looks like full wets. So, in a way, guys, as per usual, the drivers will take a 5-minute break, which means so will I. And I'll get myself all ready to go. It might be in Brian because he's another one who's blooming fast as well. So yeah, yeah. If he was here from the start, he'd be up there at the front somewhere. So yeah. Just saw a message from Greza pop up in the chat that we'll be going at 9:26. So that's the go time, guys. I'll speak to you in a bit. Excellent. Right, we're on our way to go in. Um, it's Jack. Oh, it's not the same guy. Okay. Um, Mark's put in a prediction. He's predicting spreader, Big D, Massey. Poor cameraman. just out there getting soaked. Rather than me, I stay in my little comms box, which is my sofa. Let's check tyres. Yep, so it was as wet as it looked. Well, I look at the puddles on the track. I don't think this is going to dry out quickly. And going by how heavy the rain looks, it's not drying out at all. So, Noodle Neck DSQ. Didn't get off the line actually. Noodle. Come back, Noodle. Or maybe he did get off the line. And he just got put back there, and that's why I thought he didn't get off the line. I don't know. I don't know. So, let's have position change for the start of the race. I have to say, Mike, I don't think you'll be far wrong with that. I'm going to show a bit more confidence in our man Greza, and I'm going to go for Greza to win with Big D second and Spreader in third. That's the way I'm going to go. So, it's going to be difficult for Gazelle. Well, I mean, the thing is, it's going to be very hard for Massey to get past if Gazelle can stay ahead off the start. But at the same time, if I was Gazelle, I wouldn't really fancy having Massey just stuck in the gearbox right the whole race either. So, because it just it put me off in a way. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Looking forward to this. I'm hoping that the weather will at least dry out to intermediates at some point in the race. I'll be honest with you, I have absolutely no idea if they'll be able to do a whole race on one set of wets or not. Absolutely no idea. I've not. I know I was in a wet race at Spain, and they wouldn't have made it at Spain. On Spain 35 laps in it, 33 laps maybe. But yeah, too short. So, away to go. Just got a good camera angle. It looks like Big D's got off to a good start. He's going to get ahead of Greza. Massey having a look, but he looks like he's got ahead of Gazelle. Did get that done at the start. I think that suits both of them. I think that suits Massey and Gazelle. What doesn't suit Gazelle is that he's fallen behind Noodle Neck as well. As Fatal Defiance gets ahead of Hoodrat. P10. But, I'm really glad to say, if we look down the order, so far, keep an eye on this one. Wow. Oh, hang on, is that Alpine? That's Hoodrat's Alpine in AI. I don't know what's wrong with Hoodrat, but yeah, Unreal start from Spreader already 1.6 seconds ahead. Shame to see Hoodrat in AI. Oh, he's joined now. Okay. Unfortunately, I didn't see him actually leave. I would have sent him an invite, but excellent stuff from all the drivers to start off with. Obviously, Hoodrat's going to rejoin and find himself down in 13th. It's just the way it goes. Just unfortunate for him. Master Spread obviously sets the fastest lap, and the field is actually spacing out a bit here. So Spread got a gap to P2. Big D's got a gap to Greza. Greza's got a gap to Massey. Everybody's got a gap. I mean, the closest we've got at the moment is actually Noodle Neck and Gazelle. So yeah, truth be spoken, I don't think Gazelle would have minded losing a place to Massey at the start. As I said, sticks from having Massey all over his gearbox throughout the whole race. But I don't think he had been over the moon to lose a place to Noodle Neck. It's only a short run down to turn 1. That's Gazelle. Just from absolutely nowhere, completely loses traction and bang. Sector 2 yellow. I'm told, guys, that we will not see a safety car in Monaco. We'll find out if that's true, but I am told that we will not see one. Okay, was it fatal that sort of had a little moment? Out. I think it was. Just to let you know, that's not we haven't switched safety cars off. They're not off. It's just that somebody else did a race where there was quite a lot of incidents, people, you know, on themselves crashing into walls and stuff, and the safety car, or even a virtual safety car, didn't come out once. So, just struggling a little bit for a battle. Everybody's pretty spread out. Hood Rat, it's a Dart Lord. He's about a second behind Dart Lord. This is pretty much our closest as it stands right now. Oh, Big D's out! Big D in exactly the same place, but on the opposite side of the track. I don't know whether they're struggling as you come out of the dry and back into the wet again. But it's exactly the same place as Gazelle. It's just he's hit the right barrier, whereas Gazelle hit the left. And what a shame for Big D. He got off to a great start up into P2. That's my only fault, is that maybe they're struggling because of coming out of the dry and the tunnel into the wet when you hit the outside. I really don't know. It's never so gentle curve there, isn't it? So it's still we continue, unfortunately, with quite big gaps. I mentioned that Hood Rat had got to a second behind Dart Lord, but Dart Lord is actually just 3/4 of a second now off of Demon. Demon's definitely there. Ooh. So this is going to turn into a free car battle. Well, it is a free car battle already now. This is Mercedes, McLaren, Alpine. So this is a battle for P8 overall. Just shout out to Demon Note, who's at the front of this battle. He has made up 5 places already. It's an absolute outstanding start to a Monaco Grand Prix. Oh, Big D, you were absolutely brilliant, mate. It just snapped, and all I could tell you, mate, is exactly the same thing happened to Gazelle, right at the same place. It's just he hit the barrier on the left, you hit the one on the right, but it was the same thing, the same place. I don't know. I mean, it is right at the end of the tunnel. Whether it's coming out of the dry into the wet, I don't know, but it's the only thing I can think that's causing that to happen. Anyway, Demon just managed to disappear a little bit at the road. We do have further up the order, Ramatron has caught the back of Noodle. So gap's about the same as it is between Dart Lord and Hood Rat. As I say, as I think Fatal mentioned in the comments earlier on, it's more about survival this and getting to the end. I think as it stands now, with the changing points this season, and anybody who finishes now will pick up points. But, I think that part of the reason why they're spreading out as well is that it must be. Actually, I'm just going to go to Goomba. Goomba's really caught the back of Rara. Since catching Noodle Neck, Rara's just seems to have fallen off the pace a bit. Into a free car battle as well as Pajala catches the back of them. Whoever Rah hit something, I think he's gone into the pits, so he has indeed. So yeah, he must have hit something, and into the pits comes Tron. So I don't, Big D, I don't know if you might be able to enlighten us regarding whether, if it's likely to dry up to intermediates at some point, or if it doesn't, will one set of wets do the whole race, or will they all have to pit? Oh, it's never 3 races, 0 points, is it, Big D? I didn't notice that. Oh, you definitely come back stronger, Mark. No doubt about that. That's the back situation. I mean, it doesn't at the moment look like the rain's getting any lighter. It's absolutely hammering down still. So, just say, every time somebody catches up to a car in front, they then just seem to fall back off them again. I don't know whether that is just because it is really difficult to follow. Fatal was pitted. Shoot, must have picked up a bit of damage somewhere. Greza sets the fastest lap. And Owen Rupek is out of the session. So, as one Aston Martin pits and finds himself a lap down. The other Aston Martin has crashed. This time it looks like his entry to the... His car has already disappeared, but I'll try and point out where he was when Spreader comes through. Looks like it was pretty much on the entry of the tunnel on the right hand side, going by what the track map said. So it was just, it looked, yeah, he spun it out there and must have hit the inside barrier. So maybe what that is, as Hoodrat now heads into the pits. He's dropped to 10th, he won't jump any further than that. Fatal now passes where his teammate was and moves into P11. As I said, we're just struggling a bit for a battle. Let's go to Pajala. He's close to the back of Gumba. Do you know what? I've never thought of that, Brian. You're absolutely right. We've got to get Mario and Gumba on track at the same time. Mario tried jumping on his head. Oh, thanks, Big D. So it is lightening up in the next 10. So we should see a change to winters later on. If the track dries enough, we still see a lot of standing water. And you can also see it's still raining heavily as it stands right now. So all of a sudden then, Gumba's caught back up to the back of Noodle Neck. So we're back into a 3-car race again. Almost, actually it's a 4-car race because Demon's caught the back of this. So this 2 Mercedes running next to each other. I tell you what, it'd be a good result for Mercedes if Pajala and Demon both... Good points for them. So, yeah, it is a bit like watching Monaco in real life, isn't it? We're not going to see an overtake anywhere. It's a lot of this, well, particularly these 4, are probably going to come down to who puts the tyres on at the right point. Oh, as Pajala gets out of sorts and runs wide, clipped the barrier, but I don't think it caused any damage. Maybe that was his little way of letting Demon through. But, doesn't really alter anything in the whole course of things. So they're still running 6 and 7. We got... I have to admit, we... I can't remember what... Was it... Last night, Brian, at Silverstone, it was wet? Or was it dry and then wet later on, or wet then dry? I can't remember. It was dry and then it went to wet, wasn't it? And I must admit, there was a good free lap window where you could have pitted to intermediates, and it didn't really. Oh, and that's Demon. He's lost his front wing. He's gonna have to get out of the way of Kajala now, and he does indeed. Slow it down. I wonder if I assume he will pit for a new front wing. I just wonder if he might shove the inters on now. That was one thing I noticed last night, was the inters are too quick in dry conditions. I noticed last night as a driver. I pitted exactly the same lap as a driver. They came out on intermediates. It hadn't even started raining yet, and I pitted to hards, ready to go to the end if it didn't rain, and I wasn't able to pull out more than a second a lap on him, which was just a bit ridiculous, really. Ooh, it's Dark Lord. It's a bit of oversteer out the corner. Yeah, dry and went wet, and yeah, I agree, Brian. I stayed out till, well, I actually stayed out one lap too long and lost quite a lot of time on my in lap. But as I said, I can't remember. It was Ghost that was behind me, mate, and he pitted for into the same lap as me, but way before it even started raining, and I could only pick up a second a lap off of him. And with it being Silverstone, it's such a long pit stop that I ended up finishing 30 seconds behind him come the end. So, Dark Lord right on the back of Demon. Hang on, sorry, I've gotten a bit confused here. So, Pajala was the Mercedes that came into the pits. But Demon, as we can see on our screen there, is definitely the Mercedes that lost his front wing. The wrong Mercedes pitted. We've got a set to 2 yellow. I can't see any yellow on the track. It's up through there. I think it's a car getting out of the way. Trying to find out who. Yeah, I think it's Hood Rat was just getting out of people's way in this section. So, not any crashes or anything. Reza, by the way, has actually closed the gap slightly to spread out to a second. Which is interesting, because that really does mean the pit stop's going to be absolutely vital. I know if I was Greza, if I saw Spreader coming into the pits, I would stay out. There's no point just following him in, unless you're happy just to stick with P2. But we have lost Rapid Bajala, and it's the same place as Rupek. So clearly the entry to the tunnel is dodgy. Just back there, I think his car actually disappeared just as I got to the Ferrari then. Yeah, clearly both the entrance and the exit then is a bit dodgy on the tunnel. So, Good Rat as well. It's gone. Absolutely no one. I think he's retired into the pits, is he? Why would you retire in the pits? Points. Reza is absolutely flying at the moment. Right right on the back now of Spreader. Barely actually seen them, to be fair, as there's a yellow flag. I think that was fatal, getting out of somebody's way. I think he was getting out of the way of Noodle Neck and Gumbutt. So well done, fatal. So. Demon let him through, so I think it was the wrong mistake. It's a pity. I've just seen the message come up from that. Sorry, that's not winning the game. So, plus 7 laps for damage. Didn't even change my front wing. Change your front wing, doesn't it, if it's not damaged enough. But actually, I do suggest, if you're ever pitting for the moment until they sort it out, if you're ever pitting for a front wing, to actually change it from auto to yes, just to make sure it changes it on your MFD. Look how close he gets onto the back of Spreader through the hairpin. So didn't really see them the first 10 laps, but now Perez has gotten this close. So, look to me as if Perez jumped that one a little bit, so he may have picked up a warning there. All this, by the way, Massey's up into P3, which I think he'd be happy with. He's pretty lonely out there in P3 as well, so it's not, he don't even have to. It's not as if he has to be putting his foot down driving flat out here. I think he'd be quite happy to pick up at Monaco after starting P5. Minimise the damage that Spreader and Greza could do to him in the championship. I am keeping an eye on the other gaps, by the way. I can see that Ravatron's getting pretty close to Dark Lord. Gumba's not far off a Noodle Neck, so I am keeping an eye on them as well. It's a simple fact of the matter that apart from overtake Shaw in a pit stop, I don't think we're likely to see any on track as it stands. Still raining. It does look a bit lighter now, but still wet enough. I don't think we're going to be seeing them coming in, flying in the next sort of 3 laps. Yeah, you're not welcome here, Sufesson or whatever your name is. Delete. There we go. Deleted. And banned. There you are. He won't be coming back. So he changes his name to something else. So I'm just going to nip down to Ravatron. He's really on the back of Dark Lord now. So I did omit from the possible places you might see an overtake. Here, this is arguably probably the best place actually there, through the tunnel and then into that chicane. It's probably your best chance at being able to outbrake someone to make a move. But as I said earlier, though, it's wherever you decide to make a move at Monaco, you're putting your whole race in the lap of the gods pretty much every time you do it. Oh, sorry, Brian. I think that was because my headset. It should be all right now, is it? It does go louder when they're on camera shots like this. Unfortunately, it goes loud like the cockpit view. Anyway, these two still battling. Grezzo and Master Spread still battling. You've got to. Oh, because my headset goes weird again. It just shows how difficult it is, though, doesn't it? Because if watching this battle, no offense to Dark Lord, but it is quite clear in this one that Rara's got the pace. But there's just nothing he can do. And now, oh, that's handy. You'd be really happy to see that. But I'm going to put the tyres on because I think that might be a change to intermediates. Demon has switched to intermediates. Dark Lord's in, and I expect he's going to switch to intermediates. He hasn't yet. No, he's not. Dark Lord has come in and put a new set of wets on. Well, that, I think, is a mistake. Even if those inters were starting to feel a bit bad, I think you had to stick it out. He's just given up a place. Put on a set of fresh wets that are probably only going to be needed for about 3-4 more laps, I think. In fact, I'm not even sure they're needed now. Let's just keep an eye on the gap between Demon and Raratron. It's 21.5 seconds right now. Let's go back to the two front runners. It's 21.5 seconds. It's just climbing a bit at the moment, but not by very much. It's 22 now. Seeing which part of the track they're actually in. Rara's there. Okay, so the front two have actually lapped Demon, so Demon's actually just behind us on track. So actually the gap's getting close to 23, so at the moment the track isn't quite ready for inters. But that was still a poor move from Dark Lord. He either needs to stay out on the wets or just switch to inters in a way. Because he's just going to have to make another pit stop now, which means he's going to be well off the back of Demon after that. As Massey suddenly pipes up and sticks the fastest lap of the race in. Still just keeping an eye on that gap between Rara and Demon. Little signs that it might be starting to come down now. So, yeah, I think Noodle Neck's done the right thing. He's into the pits. I think he's done the right thing. That gap between Rara and Noodle is either static or pretty much starting to come down. So now seems about the right time. Don't think it, well, maybe one more lap on the wets, but it won't be any more than that, and I don't think it really make any difference. So, well, I'm amazed. Noodle Neck has switched to wets. I am absolutely shocked at that. That is never the right decision for Noodle Neck, I'm afraid. Comes out of the pits. It's going to have... Look at the gap now. So that gap was 22 seconds between Rara and Demon. It is now about 20 seconds. In fact, it's a lot less. The track's changed. The track has changed. So somebody was in there. Massey's come in for Inters. He's back out again. To get a little bit of an undercut here. I mean, it's obviously not going to get him 16 seconds, which the gap was. In comes Goomba as well. How quick did that track change from Demon just sort of keeping the gap static? So all of a sudden, he's got nearly 4 seconds made up already on the cards ahead. So in comes Rara. Noodle has unfortunately made completely the wrong decision by pitting when he did for wets. That was Goomba coming out just ahead of Noodle. And if Goomba watches this back at any point, it's going to be absolutely over the moon that he got out ahead of Noodle. Should have been stuck behind the guy on wets. As in comes Grezza. Master Spread has continued on. I think Grezza's going to get an undercut. And just to make matters worse for Master Spread, I know they're all getting out of the way, but he is stuck in the middle of the traffic as well. He's cleared it now. But, yeah, let's go down then. Demon has taken another 4 seconds out of Noodle Neck. Noodle Neck, you have to pit. You really do have to pit. And I'm looking at where Master Spread is. On this left-hander. Grezza is coming out of the tunnel. I think he's got the undercut. I really do. Could be tight. We'll keep him. Oh, he is. He struggles around into the pits there. Does make it. Let's look at Grezza then. He's coming through the final sector. You heard the tyres going on. It's going to be tight. It really is going to be tight. There it is. There's the undercut. It's works for Grezza. And into P1 goes the Ferrari. Master Spread just a lap late. So unfortunate. He will try and get after him, but yeah, needs to get the tyres up to temperature first. Noodle Neck, my friend, you really need to pit before you are caught by everyone, to be quite honest. The only one that can't is Fatal, who's a lap down. I don't know, it's dark. I'm just saying, I'm not sure who's a lap down and who's not actually right now. It's just... that spread must be Grezza and Master Spread there, so in comes Noodle. So actually he wasn't a lap down yet, but he needs intermediates. I think he's realised that. And onto the inters he goes. Oh, he needed a new wing as well. So Raratron, who is ghosting. So Rara. Well, Rara's ghost got past. There. Was this last seen 22 hours ago? Well, I don't think he was. I'm just going to invite him to the game. Don't get told off for doing that when he was already here. important to note though, because that makes a difference. If we don't get him back, rah, then obviously that makes a difference to the guys behind him. So just do a quick check through the drivers, make sure everybody else is with us. Yeah, everybody else with us. It just seems to be rah, unfortunately. Just keeping an eye on spread at the moment. Grez is keeping that gap to 2 seconds. Obviously, Spreader wants to stay within the 3 just in case Grez were to pick up 3 seconds. He got the jump, Brian, didn't he? Brilliantly done. And I shall ask him in the podium interview if he was listening to me, because I reckon he might be. And if he is, I want 5 points of his 25 for the commentary, basically telling him that the inters are now faster. Actually, no, I don't want 5 points. What does that do for me? I want a pack of Haribo off him. He's made a pack of Haribo from him and you, Brian. So, as it stands right now, unfortunately, we don't have any battles going on really. Spreader's gained 6 temps now on Greza, but to say, he needs to keep that gap because of a possibility of penalties, but other than that, I think it's pretty static. We can... Let's just take a look at... Hey, Hambo. Yeah. Must be Monaco. It is, but what a great Monaco has been as well. Full wets. And it seems to be getting drier again. Are we possibly going to get another switch? It is still raining lightly, so I'm not sure. But basically, Hambo, the story at the front was that Spreader got pole position by 8 thousandths of a second to Greza. He led all the way from on wets, and then Greza's got the undercut on him, switched at the right time and undercut him, and overtook him just as he was exiting the pits. Massey has probably had the most lonely race of his life in P3, to be honest. Started P5, made a position up on the start, and then we lost Big D, which promoted him up to 3rd. He's just been out on his own. Yes, I can handle 2 packs of Haribos, Brian. I used to eat a pack of Haribos every night. Let's see. That was the Aston Martin, but we do have Ghost on for lapping, so he is there, Fatal. He's just so it's ghosting while being lapped. It's hard really to move anywhere else. We could take a look. Let's take a quick look at Massey, because we quite literally haven't seen him since the race started. Well, maybe compared to you, Hambo, because you're lightning, but I don't think anybody can call him slow, to be fair, mate. Bloody quicker than I am. Not that's hard, but... See Massey do a lap. Trying to time fill now. Got nothing to watch, really. Keeping an eye on the gap for a Spreader. Yeah, I don't think anything's likely to change unless it's dry enough for slicks. Even if Spreader catches the back of Grezza, he's not going to launch a ridiculous move up the inside somewhere. So this rain is very, very, very light now, so I do think it's heading towards a dry track. Just whether we reach it in time. But regardless of a bit of a lack of action in regards to overtakes, there's been other action, 3-car battles, 4-car battle at one point. We've had a few crashes, so it's not been a completely sort of boring procession at all by any means. Grezza sets the fastest lap. It's coming down, isn't it? 121 in the intermediates. What would you think? A slick fastest lap at Monaco? 113s, 114s, something like that. I'm guessing. Obviously faster if it's somebody switching to softs at the end, but you know, if it was just a medium to hard race or whatever. I'm guessing 113 best, really. Can you get my live reaction to the shoes that you've bought? Yeah, so I assume you're going to send me a photo in Discord, are you? Let's watch Gumba for a bit then. So, where are they, Brian? You have to put in chat when you sent them to me, when you sent me a pic. As it stands, what a result Ferrari on for, what a result Gumba's on for. I actually have absolutely no way of picking the driver of the day today, if I'm absolutely honest with you. It's, Demon's up 8 places, I could give it to him. That's primarily because he switched to intermediates. I mean, he was early switching to inters, so he was slow for a little bit, but it was still better than a few of the other drivers that switched to a second set of wets. I think maybe the up 8 places, and it's a bit early to call him the driver of the day anyway, but as Rara picks up 3 seconds, well, that tells me he's back in control in a way. He is indeed, so that's good news. Let's go to Demon. Get out of the cockpit as well, because it's loud. I think Brian sent me a picture of his shoes. He has indeed. Oh my goodness me. They got every colour of the rainbow on them. And each shoe's a different. One's blue and one's orange. Hang on. I'm really confused. That's 3 different shoes. How many pairs of these shoes did you buy? Or have you got 3 feet? They're very colourful, Brian. Very nice. That's not one pair. They're different colours. How can that be one pair? Demon just lap there. That means they have lapped. Oh, they're not lapped yet. Sorry, my apologies. We got getting a bit confused. Where's Grezza? Okay, yeah, he was lapped. So Grezza's gone past. Spreader's about to go past. So actually, Grezza's about to get past his teammate. As his teammate gets out of the way there. So clearly. Ah, Brian, if you can hear me, my phone's just died. So if you write anything back now, I'm not going to see it. Yeah, so just to confirm, that does mean Grezza and Spreader have lapped up to and including P4. I don't think there's any danger of them reaching P3, which is Massey. It's still great performance from these two. So I remain really torn on my driver today, actually, because I have to admit, Demon's performance has obviously been impressive. We get an overtake. We get an overtake. They're both ghosting. I think Demon's taking advantage of Goomba's car ghosting as he was getting lapped. And if that's what he's done, I can't not give him driver of the day for taking advantage of that. That's just... it's just different gravy. I was so close to saying I think I've got, to be quite honest, I think Grezza deserves it, but... well, Grezza does deserve it, but... that's different gravy from Demon, as he... I'm sure that's what he's done, he's taken advantage. He's totally following Master Spread about. Master Spread's not disappearing. I think Master Spread is basically just sort of decided he's gonna just get the car to the end for P2 now. I'm falling 4 seconds behind Grezza. So we've got to give it to the two of them. They're 34 seconds ahead of Massey. Which is highly impressive. Enters. As it goes fastest. Fastest lap down to a 21.0. I'm not even sure if it dried up now. I'm not even sure we see him bothering to pit off the intermediates, to be honest. The only, well, just looking at it, I think Dark Lord is the only one with a big enough gap that he could pit. Spreader has. Spreader could pit and still retain P2 if it got dry enough. Massey is into the pits. Okay, now this is going to give us an idea. So is this for slicks? No, it's for a fresh set of inters. But Massey didn't have the time, did he? Oh yes, he did. My apologies. He had loads of time to Demon. I was misreading the timings there. So I think that's just a precautionary switch for Massey, just to it'd be precautionary, and I think probably an attempt at taking fastest lap as well. Grezza sets the fastest lap. Oh, and Massey clips the barrier there. It's a stupid camera angle. We can't see if it did any damage. No, he's still got his end plate, so I don't think it's caused any damage. Car you can hear in the background is actually Grezza's car. So he's only about 2 turns away from lapping Massey. for that pit stop for Massey, but guessing, I can only assume that Massey's going for a fastest lap for the extra point. Or, as I say, it might have just been a precautionary switch, just to make sure there's nothing silly happens at the end. Not a lot more to say. Should we take a quick look at penalties, see what's going on there? As we can see, it's 3 seconds for Massey, 3 seconds for Demon, Bravatron and Dark Lord, 6 seconds for Noodle, but it's not gonna... Dark Lord's nowhere near close enough, so... I do think Noodle Neck and Dark Lord might just be a bit disappointed that they chose to stop when they did and switch to, as Dark Lord picks up another 3 seconds, so he's now got 6 as well. Yeah, their choice to pit and go to fresh wets when they did it, I think they may just be a bit disappointed. Particularly, I think Noodle Neck, who was on for a better result than this, to be honest. He would have been fighting with Goomba for P5, without a doubt. Massey does set fastest lap with a 1:20.4. It does show, though, this track is very close to slick conditions. They're doing a 1:20.4 on inters. Just looking at the grounds, it does look like it's really dry now, and it doesn't look like it's... I think there might be a few spots of rain in the air, but it's barely raining at all. But this late in the race, I would imagine that the only people that might pit are people going for fastest laps, which, in all fairness, is probably only Spreader, or Defiance, and Dark Lord. I think they're the only ones that can go for it. Everybody else, I don't think anybody else has a gap to try it. Maybe Massey. Maybe Massey. I would say his gap probably is big enough that he can come out in front of Demon, but that's if the track's there. We can still see a bit of spray coming up from the back of the car. Oh, and the rain looks a bit heavier on that camera, to be fair. So, there's one gap actually that is a little bit interesting. Demon's got 3 seconds to penalty. Goomba has definitely caught him somewhat compared to where he was, so he's 5.7 behind at the moment. He's got, what, 2.5 laps basically to try and make the rest of the time up, but obviously he needs to, if we can stay within the 6, then so it's a shame we're not hearing from Demon actually. I'd like to ask him if he did actually take advantage of the fact that Goomba's car would have been ghosting while they were being lapped to make a move, and if he did, because I'm not too sure on the rules, would it be allowed? If anybody's listening and trying to answer that question for me, obviously, as I said, my phone's died, so I can't see the chat at the moment. But, yeah, I'm just wondering, I've never thought of that before. But if he was ghosting because of being laps and Demon took advantage, is that actually allowed to... Are you actually allowed to do that? It seems a bit naughty. Skimmer just gets back within 6 seconds. You want to keep it within 6 seconds, still a couple of laps. He doesn't know what penalties or what warnings Demon's got, so I was told there's a way of finding that out, so... Oops. There's Demon. Don't tell me anything. Don't press that. That, in it. In it. Oh, it's not going to let me look at race director. Oh, yes it is. I have absolutely no idea. Someone can teach me that. I'm sure there is a way that you can just look at somebody's name and it tells you. Perhaps, Brian, if you know how to do it, then perhaps you could teach me. Well, I think it's only right then that we switch to the leaders as they lead. It was effectively an endurance race, bringing us up to the end of 39 laps of Monaco, following a full qualifying session. We've been going pretty much 2 hours 20 minutes in total because of the weather. And, well, if my graphic's correct, Grezet's purple sector 2. He's never going for that, is he? Oh, when he passes to Haas. So that was Massey. He's just that Massey. Who therefore won't need to complete an extra lap. But Greza does nick the fastest lap. Well, what a... what a wallop to Massey's pride that is. That he's not only been lapped, but the guy that lapped him nicked his fastest lap at the end. Oh, that'll make the podium interview fun. Thank you. In a way, Massey finished third. Spreader second, Massey third. Demon P4, Gumba P5. Great race from both of those. Ra finishes P6 in the end. Noodle Neck was 7th. Just coming round the third sector. I honestly think all these guys finishing will be pretty pleased with themselves. They're all picking up points to say that they finished Monaco. And less than half the grid can say that. So, fair play. So, Noodle Neck finishes 7th. Fatal's already crossed the line and has finished 5th. And Start Lord, just through the last few corners, will finish P8. Massive congratulations to those 9. I'm not sure why Pajala Down has suddenly become lit up again on my screen, but it was definitely from Pajala Down. So congratulations to the 9 that's finished. I'll get the boys in for an interview. I think it's going to be a interesting one actually. Greza, whose AI looks exactly the same as mine, wins the race. Not his AI, you know what I mean. He's a driver there. Celebrate on the podium. He's the gem of the season at Monaco. For us guys watching maybe not the most exciting race, but for those guys driving, it's a great achievement to win there, and it's a great achievement just to finish here, in all honesty. So, well done to our 9 finishers. Let's get them in then. Let's get this done. It's been a long old night, so let's Greza, Spreader, and Massey.
Evening.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're all in. Yeah, excellent.
Evening.
Just include,
Evening.
if you haven't already, just include your audio, guys. Massey, you with us?
Yep.
I'm here.
Hello.
I'm here.
Yeah, cool. Congratulations, all 3 of you, for your podiums at Monaco. That's wow, that felt like an endurance race. I'm not gonna lie. Massey, well done on P3, mate. You got off to a good start, got yourself up into P4, and obviously Big D's retirement moved you up into P3. But other than that, that was probably the most lonely race you've ever had, I would imagine.
Yeah, I just took too long to get my confidence going other than Echo. Personally, yeah. I just took too long to get my confidence going, and then once I got to about 15 seconds, the gap didn't increase as much, and then damaged my wing after that, so I lost a bit more time, and then shut myself on the final lap when I nearly pinned it in the wall. Yeah, it wasn't my best race, but I didn't have the pace for the front 2, so P3 is probably best I would have got today.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it's still podium, still good points.
Yeah.
You minimised any damage that the front 2 could do to you for championship wise. And I've got to ask it, Massey, I've got to ask it. Was there a little dent to the pride at the end when Greza lapped you, and not only lapped you, but also wanted to nick your fastest lap that you had at the time as well?
Well, that's what I was pushing for. That's what I was pushing for. Purple with the sectors, and lost it on the final corner. So, to be honest, I was grateful that he lapped me. I didn't have to do another lap because I had no wing and I didn't
have to do another lap. Yeah. Fair enough. We come to Spreader then. Well done on P2, mate. Well, it was being said in stream it was going to come down to the pit stops, which it did. You led, obviously, the first half of the race basically on the wets. Were brilliant. But from your point of view then...
Yeah, Wally was good. Put it on pole with a decent bit of time between us. Got off the line great. I think I had like 1.7 seconds at the end of sector 1 to Graham. He suddenly closed that back down there and kept him where he was, and we found the limit now of where the tyres have gone too far to get the overcut, because we know that they're cold when they come out, so that's what we were both going for. And we found that limit now, so I feel like I chucked that one away, unfortunately. Well, no, it was a good race.
Yeah, I've got to say, having watched on, Greza did pit the absolute perfect lap. Demon had pitted early for Inters, and until that lap, he was losing a little bit of time, and then all of a sudden on that lap, he gained 4 seconds to the car ahead of him. So it ended up, well, yeah, it was perfect timing, really. But still, good for you for the championship. For P2, pick up a few points over Massey.
Yeah, and Andy finished 8th as well, so the only team that outscored us was Ferrari this week. We finished ahead of Aston, and obviously they only had one driver this week. So, good news all around.
Absolutely. Well done, man. So we come to Greza then, so congratulations on winning Monaco, the gem of the season. Much the same for you. I think as well, to be fair, I've got to give you driver of the day as well, to be fair, Greza, because I think your actual performance was outstanding. But I've got to give a shout out to Demon for that as well, because he made up a lot of slick and easy at Monaco. But from your point of view, then obviously the pit stop was perfectly timed. But other than that, there didn't seem to be a way past, other than doing it in the pits, really.
Yeah, when I caught him on wet spread, I just couldn't get within 8/10 of him, so I knew it was going to come down to the pit stops. It was just I know we were both thinking the same thing. We think the Inters would be cold at the start of the stint, even if it's ready for Inter. So we're both trying to do the overcut on each other, but the tyres were about 70%, so I thought, oh, sod it. And luckily, the undercut works when you're going on to Inters, and that tends to be the what won me for me. But yeah, I was pushing like flat out on the last lap. I didn't even on board with me or anything, but to get that fastest lap, I was all over the shop, wiggling, pushing. But it was good fun, and really tricky conditions. I was quite happy not making any mistakes.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's the standout thing from the podium boys is none of you sort of, well, apart from Massey right at the end, none of you had any mistakes really throughout, which is why you're on the podium. But yeah, a couple of others were unlucky. Decided to pit for fresh wets about 2 laps before it actually switched to inters. But yeah, it's a great performance from yourself and the others
Yeah,
on
that
the
wasn't a
podium.
cruise either. I was pushing pretty much flat out from all that through the first, and even in the wet, I was sliding. I was pushing to get spread, and then I had to stay there. And then I think once he realised the game was up a bit in the second stint, it just got a bit easier.
Yeah. Okay. Well, other than that, guys, from myself as a sort of summary of it, it wasn't massively exciting for us to watch because of the fact nobody
I
could
saw the map, I
overtake. I'm
didn't
not
think
going to
it would
lie. But it was interesting though. There was interesting bits, but like you guys pit stop. There was a few strange crashes. I don't know what it was, but something about that tunnel because all the crashes were either on the exit or the entrance. But yeah, it was it had its interesting bits in a way. Other than that, as always, guys, thanks to everybody that's watched live and followed us along. And obviously, thank you to everybody that watches it back as well. It's all really appreciated. So